Mike Thompson is just an ordinary man. He lives in a modest suburb, Middletown, America. Every morning, he has a routine. He gets up early, he brews coffee, then he kind of shuffles around the house and gets himself ready for work at the local manufacturing plant. Just like any other day, he's a creature of routine. But since the New World Order and the One World Government, his life is well, it's beginning to unravel. So initially, the transition into a one world government was really subtle. News feeds that were powered by AI were talking about all of the dawn of a new mankind, basically, and how this was going to help humanity solve their problems. Harmony, they were calling it harmony. Religious institutions were behind it. They were very quick to adapt to it. Churches and synagogues transformed into communities, centers for advocating new doctrines of peace and compliance. They preached unity, urging congregations to abandon their old beliefs. Mike's wife Lisa embraced this fully. She was very active in the church. She loved the change. She began attending weekly gatherings at the local church. Mike, though, he was kind of feeling uneasy about the whole thing. And he also began to feel increasingly alienated. So, at first, Mike tried to ignore his discomfort. But the more that he witnessed the basic erosion of individuality, the disbanding of diverse religious practices, and the promotion of singular state-sanctioned belief system, a singular state-sanctioned belief system, the more he felt a seed of rebellion begin to grow inside of him. Now, the government ensured compliance. They had a network of AI surveillance systems. Every citizen wore a biometric device, tracking every single movement that the citizens made. Non-compliance would result in what was known as a re-education session, where dissenters, they were subject to psychological conditioning to help realign their thoughts. So as Mike began to continue to work, he noticed how people around him had grown really kind of creepy, quiet. They'd become very compliant. All the conversations he ever heard were filled with things about global citizenship, values of traditional families and structures like that were breaking down. And he heard a lot of very strong arguments for the fact that the state, not the family, should raise the children. One official had declared during a televised speech, and sometimes he declared that during a speech, and that did promote an outcry from some people. But for the most part, the outcry went unnoticed. One evening, while scrolling through forbidden forums online, Mike discovered a community of like-minded individuals questioning this new world order. They shared articles about resistance, the history of authoritarian regimes, the stories of those who dared to fight back. Suddenly, a fire ignited inside of Mike, and he joined their ranks. Now he began attending secret meetings in people's basements. He was keeping this from his wife Lisa. He didn't want anybody to know. Because of the dangers. The dangers were very real. Just last week, one of his new friends vanished. Rumors swirled about the government re-education facilities. Dark places where dissenters underwent rehabilitation. Mike shuddered at the thought. Would he be next? Would his children be left without a father? But despite the risks, the more Mike learned, the more determined he became. He began to disseminate information among his coworkers, whispering about government's manipulation and the importance of preserving personal beliefs. Many were skeptical. Some were fearful of repercussions. You're going to get us all sent to re-education plants, they would tell him. And Mike's wife Lisa noticed the change in Mike. He was more withdrawn. He was less willing to participate in any family activities. When she spoke about the new community events that were going on, he would just dismiss them. It's not what it seems, he would say. One night, while they were laying in bed, Mike finally confided his fears to Lisa. He said, "This isn't right. Lisa, they want to take our children away. They want to mold them into something that we do not recognize." Lisa just shook her head, tears in her eyes, and said, "You're nothing but paranoid, Mike. All they're trying to do is keep us safe." Those words hurt Mike more than anything else. They created an isolation between him and his wife. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was going to be discovered soon. The woman that he loved, he had to make a choice. The woman that he loved, or this new sense of freedom that was growing every day within him. So as the rebellion grew, so did the government's response, of course. The AI surveillance intensified in neighborhoods. There were drones patrolling overhead, monitoring gatherings. You couldn't have a gathering without being monitored by drones that were listening to every word that was said. Those who spoke out were swiftly dealt with. A friend of Mike's was captured during a protest, and they never saw him again. There were really chilling stories of re-education centers spreading throughout the land. Mike resolved he had to act before it was too late and he was caught. In the dead of night, Mike gathered a small group and they all concealed themselves in a basement. Their plan was really kind of audacious. They wanted to disrupt a major government event by exposing the truth behind the AI propaganda that was dictated into their lives. They spread flyers. They hacked into AI networks to broadcast their message. On the day of the event, tensions ran high. As Mike stood before the crowd, his heart raced. "We are not numbers," he shouted. "We are families We are individuals. We must resist. People began to cheer, but then they were quickly drowned out by the hum of the drones overhead. The AI system activated, identifying him as a dissenting voice. Within moments, armed enforcers flooded the area. They scattered the crowd, and Mike felt the grip of a cold hand on his shoulder. As he was led away, he realized that the path he chose came with dire consequences. The last thing that he heard was his wife Lisa's scream. That sound would haunt him in the darkness of the re-education facility. In the heart of the oppressive regime, Mike became a symbol. A man transformed from an ordinary citizen into a rebel. Though the risks were immense, his resolve flickered like a flame in the night, a testament to the enduring spirit of those who refuse to be silenced. Thanks for watching.